Discovered if I don't have this pizza object, pizza class, in order for me to call each of the pizzas, I would actually have to go into all the way back to my program, which is only a console, and I would have to instantiate each of the pizza types here. I couldn't even get it in the store unless I have a common placeholder for them, Actually, no, scrap that. I was thinking something else. So no, we can call our pizza store from our UI and pass it pizza ID. So from here we're getting the whatever number they entered, which pizza they want, and we're sending it to our UI here. Maybe we're sending it to our store. And then we need to create appropriate object for each of the pizzas. So we can do that through use of the if else. So we can say if pizza ID is 1, and we can say, we can instantiate our Greek pizza. We can say Greek pizza then in each one of the objects we have to copy all of the functions that we used to have in our pizza, because they all have to have them. Each pizza has to have, so we're copying and pasting now all of them into here so that we can prepare, bake, cut, and box. And let's say cheese pizza 300, and we cut it in triangles. And Italian pizza we bake it 400, and we cut it in triangles. So for these 3 pizzas I created, as you can see here from the way this looks, it doesn't look really good. I mean, look, we had to copy each one of all of the functions for each of the pizza that has, because each one has to be prepared, cut, baked, and boxed. So we're assuming that although some of these things, when they're prepared, the temperature has to be different, for example for bake, but they're all prepared in the same way, let's say. So they share some things that are common between all of them. So with this, every time when another one comes in, we will have to manually go in here and add it into our pizza store. Well, we have to add the object anyway, but that's extending. That's not really changing the code. And like I said in that introduction, what I said is that it should be open for extension, but not for modification. Each time, not only are we modifying here, we are copying the same code over and over in order to create each of these objects and use their methods inside of them. So the first step to make this better would obviously be to use pizza base class and then inherit from it, so that way they can all hold the same methods, and then we can see how we can change these methods to work differently for each one of the implementations. So in our pizza store, what do we need to do? We need to get rid of this. We need to go ahead and get rid of the implementations of all these methods in each of our objects here, classes. And then we need to inherit our pizza class for each of our pizzas. It simply inherits our pizza. So now this is our base class. Each of these inherits from it, and now here all we have to do is instantiate pizza object, just the pizza, and then due to polymorphism we can instantiate each of the other objects with the base class variable. So you can say pizza Greek equals new Greek pizza. So we instantiate it to its if our pizza ID equals 1, we know that it's going to be a Greek pizza. Okay, so now we were able to instantiate each one of these classes here to its base class variable, and now we can call the method of its base class. So it's calling these methods, right? So what this does is it helps us definitely from having to rewrite all of the code and all of these into each one of these calls. Now we still have a question here. I mean, how are we going to take care of, maybe you're calling the bake of our pizza here and it doesn't know because anything about Greek Italian cheese. So the method is actually in our parent class here, in a base class. So how do we know? So we would still have to do here also if pizza type, you have to say if pizza type is Greek 450 cheese, etc. So you can see we broke it down, but we're still having to kind of work all this logic into our base class. So we're using inheritance only, and we're getting some benefits from inheritance only, but still there's something missing. It's still just not right. So I would like to make this a little more user friendly, so that when we run this application, I would like to, in our UI, I would like it to tell us which pizza has been baked and at what temperature, so that we know, right? So when we run this, when I select, okay, I want a Greek pizza, now I don't get anything, but I would like it to say Greek pizza has been prepared at the temperature of 450 degrees. So first thing that we need to do in order to do that, obviously, we need to be able to return something from here. So let's make it a string. And let's return something here. So, I mean, one way that I could do this is basically here I could create a string. Call it a pizza made. And if it's fun, I could say pizza made equals Greek pizza. Spell, and I could return pizza made. And then here also that right line, pizza made pizza. I can assign this to a string. So now if I run this, if I say make me a Greek pizza, pizza made Greek pizza. So how would I get a temperature of each pizza? Because I want to make sure that it tells me. So in a pizza store, temperature is held in each of, currently it's actually held in here. So one of the ways to do it, we would have to change our, in our pizza, change our bake class to to return the string, and then create again a bunch of if statements for each one. So if temperature is 400, to return us this. I mean, in a real world application, it'd actually be doing something. So it wouldn't be this simple. There'd be a lot more doings here behind this. So I mean, you can see how crazy mixed all this would be in this scenario. So let's see, we create a string which it returns a temperature. And then here, now we have to assign this to a string to return our temperature, and we're going to return these two strings back. And now when we say give me Greek pizza, say pizza made Greek pizza at 450 degrees. But look at what we had to do here. I mean, imagine if this was something that is actually a real life project, how much more logic we'd have to put into this, to these methods here for the baking. You know, it's not just a temperature, it can be a lot of huge amount of things that need to be done for each one. So we can see that there's something missing. This is not right. I mean, we are using the inheritance, but we are not really harnessing power of polymorphism here at all. So let's go ahead and do that next.